Alright guys, today I decided to do a little quick showing of the United Cutlery Bushmaster 24-piece survival knife set. This knife right here I got just because I did grow up in the 80s, you know, and you got Rambo and stuff like that, so, you know, it's kind of takes you back to your youth a little. Would I recommend this knife? I don't know, just because it is what it is, but I'm not sure if it would be the greatest in a survival situation. Now, as far as, you know, defense, I think that would be a slightly different story, because in a defense situation, a knife's a knife. You're not going to be batoning somebody's leg with it, you know, unless you're crazy or something like that, and you really want to tear this guy into shreds. But you know, from there, size does matter, and that's really what this thing is size. I mean, it does have, you know, all kinds of stuff like fishing line, snare trap, little stuff, a little flashlight, fishing line and sinkers, snake bite kit, a little magnifying glass, little sharpening stone, band-aid, little stuff. So I mean, I guess having it on your person, if you were out and about, you know, the accessories with it could come into use. You know, it does have a little compass right there in the handle, once again kind of Rambo style, but you know, and it does have this nylon sheath. Definitely hold this together, just because it will easily slide out. This handle, what can I say? It does fit in the hand. You got a little hand guard right there that the hand guard is removable, but it's not a full tang knife, so that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know about in a survival situation, you know, it probably comes up to about here. It can break, you know. I'm not saying I've never tested it to break, but I'm pretty sure, you know, if you were going to use it in that way, it might. You know, this is a, what do they call it, a 420 stainless JC steel. It does have this little angle thing on here. I'm not sure why you would need to know angles in a survival situation, but maybe you do. I don't know. I've never been out there like that. Sawback, you know, these are pretty rough. I'm not sure if they would actually work, but yeah, you know, I mean, your finger definitely gets stuck on it. But this blade size is just insane, and this is what I'm saying, like, as far as tactical, you know, and I don't mean like a police officer, I mean like you out and about walking, which, you know, I think you even having this on the side of your person would be intimidating, just because it's so large. So here I got the Gerber Ultimate Fixed Blade Knife. And the reason I have this here is just to show you the sheer size of this blade. Look at that. The blade is the full length of the Bear Grylls knife. That's an insane length. So I mean, this is like, once again, I grew up in the 80s, so this is very much where if you was to pull this out, it would be like Crocodile Dundee. You know, somebody has a little fixed blade like this, you know, a Gerber one, you're like, that's not a knife. This is a knife. You know, it's just big and burly, and at the same time, if you're stabbing somebody or just cutting them, you know, it's the strength of the blade is not going to matter as much, just because it's just going to do damage. And once again, you know, in a situation like that, distance matters. You know, boxers are always trying to create distance. You know, you're closing the distance, and you know, when you sit here and you got a knife like this, it's giving you that much more distance that you can separate yourself from the person, you know, to protect yourself. Because, you know, if they got a little blade, you got that much more where you're like, hey, back off. You know, I got a bigger knife than you. You know, you can't get as close to me as I can to you just because of this knife. So for that reason alone, I mean, this is an intimidating deal, you know. So as far as that, you know, I'm not going to recommend it on the survival type of situation, but if you wanted to get this knife, I wouldn't tell you not to, just because it's a big knife. You know, it's going to be something that you're going to look at, you know, just kind of have around, you know, every now and then probably show off if you do take it out or do something like that. It's going to be very intimidating. You know, nobody's going to want to mess with somebody with a blade this big unless they got one themselves. I mean, they're carrying a sword or a machete or something. But once again, you know, that's my little look at the United Cutlery Bushmaster survival knife. And that way you can just see again how the size is just massive when comparing to the little Bear Grylls knife here. And I do like this Bear Grylls knife because, like I said in another video, I just love the way these rubberized handles feel in the hand. You know, I mean, if you were to use it, it just feels good. You know, I don't necessarily have the roughest hands. It's not full of calluses, so holding something like this just feels good. But and comparing the sheaths, you know, like the one here by Gerber, you know, if you don't use the Velcro, it's not going to slide out, you know, unless for some reason you're just rough and you end up loosening this quite a bit. But with this sheath right here, it definitely will. If you don't use these nylon straps, you know, for some reason you go upside down, which I don't know why you would be upside down, but this knife will slip out. So once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.